There we are. Cool. So, welcome. Oh boy, what have I done? There we go. It's fixed. Um, Welcome to the first game of Legacy of the Lost. Um, Game one. It's not. It's not a lie. Fuck you, Greg. We're gonna get started. We're basically gonna jump straight in. Because we don't really need to wait on much. I don't think there's much introduction we have to do. The starting session is going to yeet. The starting session is going to be about like 2.5 hours long. And we'll see what happens from this point. Like I said, it's not going to be massively long tonight, but we'll go for it. We'll go for a while. So. Cool. Now, sweet. So, yeah, we rolled up characters last time, so that's all done. And we have our players here for the starting session of the first game of Legacy of the Lost. The next one will be later. They don't matter right now. These guys are the guys who are important right now. Cool. So, look, 10 points if you can guess where. Oh god damn, I just did it again. 10 points if you can guess where this game is going to start. Like every other D&D game. We'll jump straight into it. So we fade up from the title screen of Legacy of the Lost Game 1 to what you expect, a tavern, a lively tavern. And looking throughout this tavern, you see adventurers and explorers and people in armor and people with instruments and an assorted number of different people, but all have a similar theme of being armored and generally ready to go out and explore the wilds. We are in, that's a cool emote. We are in the guild hall of the guild that employs the adventurers we see below, and we span the camera pans through this noisy and bustling tavern hall, and then focuses down on a table where three almost random looking characters are seated. So what do we see? Do you guys actually have like a idea what your character looks like for what we see when we look at this table with these three?
Pretty much.
Sweet.
To an extent.
Yeah, so whoever wants to go first, jump in and describe who we see.
Oh, I'm being a gentleman and it's ladies first, Sophie.
Alrighty then. Well, my character is a Quivari with the blue flames, sort of short hair, light grey skin, sort of goldish yellow eyes. They're sitting sort of across a table, taking up more room than they probably should. Sort of wearing... There is leather armor underneath all of the layers, but they're sort of wearing, layers and layers of hemp and cloaks and various things, just... Again, a bit more excessive than is actually necessary. And next to them, under the table, is just a little cart with all of their belongings in it. And that's it for now.
Sweet. Awesome. Cool. Whoever wants to go next, jump in. Give us a yell about what we see of your character.
Do you want to go next, Jake, or are you trying to come up with something?
No, help you. No, it's all yours. It's all yours.
Yeah. Well, I guess in a more opposite fashion, you see someone who probably is trying to take up as less room as possible. In much like his counterpart, he's wearing leather armor, but over them all is dark crimson robes with a hood drawn and a blank theatrical mask upon his face. if you look closer, you can see the shadows that whirl underneath, and you can see Aravan. And he just looks like he's just waiting for something to start, something to commence. Not really enjoying the public life.
Cool. And Jake, what do we see of is it Zon?
Zon, yeah.
Sweet.
So I was just like, just real quick. So with my racist description, you just said it was like the Tala,
Yep.
right?
So
Not
the-
your
The
racist
Tala don't have
description.
any. The Tala don't have anything.
The description.
They're beautiful and elegant. Okay.
Take the hint from the image that's there.
Okay. So I've got like a pale kind of bluish skin. Like you're pointy like elf like. And I've got like markings like over my body. Or that you can see from what's exposed. You can I'm wearing like a robe, so you can only kind of see the ends of them like onto my hands and things like that. But they're not bright like the Tala's scar. Like they're more like scars in appearance. And Zon is just kind of just keeping to himself. Not like just kind of withdrawn and observing.
Sure. Cool. So should note for anyone who wants a little bit more of a visual description of what a generic person from each race looks like. There is art in the D&D 5th edition hack Google Doc, which should be available in the Discord somewhere. If not, I'll make it available after the stream because it should be there. Yeah, cool. So we see our three almost random looking adventurers scattered around this table, and we kind of we focus down into their random conversation that we seem to have cut into, and I think one of the serving girls in this particular establishment walks by and has a tray of drinks if anyone wants one.
No, I'm good.
No, thank you.
Wow, Jake's
Oh,
saying no to a drink.
business.
Sweet. All
I'm
right.
a monk, okay? I'm a wholesome monk.
Wholesome monk.
That's how you know he's playing a character.
Yeah, it's not really him. Cool, awesome, sweet. So yeah, she walks on by, and I think eventually another person, another larger person, walks up to the table. It's a Carven, in relatively bulky furs. So the Carven are the rock people, in relatively bulky furs over the top of his already rather broad and short kind of stature. And he has this gigantic relative, because he's got the Carven vary a lot in their actual size. So this one's actually quite short and stocky, and he has a giant battle axe comparative to his stature, kind of slung over his back. And he walks up to the table and kind of nods his head towards the table. He says, "You're the fresh blood, eh?"
Oh, about as fresh as we can get.
Jesus.
Nods. He says, "Oh boy, cameras are dying everywhere." Jake, can you turn off your camera and turn it back on for me?
I certainly can.
Just got a quick shot of Jake's beautiful display picture on Skype. Oh no.
A younger Jake.
Is Jake
It was
dead?
a.
Have we lost Jake? Is Jake's camera dead already? We're 5 minutes into the stream.
Hopefully.
Guys,
Oh no.
do I have to find another gift to replace Jake?
No.
Maybe try dropping the call quickly, Jake, and coming back
Okay.
to see if that fixes the camera. I love the immediate technical difficulties. It's fantastic. I love it.
It's the exact opposite of what happens with Nut.
Hey,
Nuts
there we go.
immediately... Oh my god.
Oh,
Sweet,
hey,
he's
you're
back.
moving now.
Fixed it. Cool, awesome. So yeah, he like nods towards the table and kind of like nods back towards a door leaving the tavern. He says, "Guildmasters wants to talk to you. Follow me."
Oh, we're going now. All right.
Yeah, we go. Yeah.
Sweet.
Get up.
Um,
I get up quietly. Yeah.
Cool. And then you guys, follow through. I assume Mock like grabs her little cart.
Grabbing my little cart and
Yeah.
I'm dragging it behind me.
And yeah, you guys arrive eventually. You go through the doors, leaving the tap room, and like as soon as we go through the doorway, there's like a noticeable. The door shuts behind you, and like the very like loud tap room, like the din quietens abruptly as the doors shut. And the rock man kind of walks silently in front of you. So if you guys want to say anything, this is your chance. Otherwise, you're gonna walk in relative silence.
Oh, there's nothing silent about this situation. I stroll up to the rock man and I sort of peer around him. I'm like, so what's your name, sir? You got one? Have anyone special in your life want to talk about anything? I'm here to talk whenever you want to. I'm an open book.
Yeah, kind of like looks up and looks like up and around to you. He says, "No, I think I'm good for talking."
Oh, that's no fun.
Ah, shit.
I mean, I can talk plenty for the both of us, if that's what you want.
He nods. Yeah, that definitely seems to be correct.
Do you want me to tell you about the time I spent time in a servant prison?
He nods. Sounds like an interesting story.
Oh, well. Well, it started back about, 6 or so months ago. I robbed the second largest bank in Shorewell with nothing but a wooden spoon.
He nods. Says, and still ended up in prison.
Yes, well, I didn't say it was successful. But I did make an attempt.
He nods.
If only I had some sort of skills like my shadowy friend over here. That would be useful for sneaking into places, I assume. I look over to... I'd forgotten your name, if you mentioned it.
I was also in jail.
God, I've just realized how fucking weird the names of this party are. You guys are
You gave
really...
us the names.
I mean, the names are randomly generated from Roll20. You didn't have to keep them.
Hey, I fixed my name.
we have
I'm
fucking...
just rolling with mine.
We have Nox. I also realized that fucking Lane's and Jake's names are just like reversed. There's Zon and Nox. So we have Zon, we have Nox, we have Mock, and we have...
Nox inside.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow, this is gonna be a great party. I love it.
I can't laugh. I'll never be able to do my fucking character's voice if I laugh. It's gonna be bad. Ugh.
So wait, is Sophie Knox or
No,
that's me.
That's
Sophie's
Lane's
Mock.
Knox. Sorry.
So
Are you
Sophie's
Sophie?
Mock.
Mock.
Mock? Is that how you say it?
Mock.
Alright.
Mock.
Mock, yeah. So we have fucking Nox, Zon, Mock, and Flavi.
That's at least my last name. At least that's my last name. My first name's Cardinal.
First name, title, could be either. Alright.
I don't know, man. I don't think the fucking Catholic Church is around.
I mean, some...
Oh, they're around.
Cool. Yeah, sweet. So yeah, you guys kind of continue walking down, and I think at one point the rock man in front of you who still hasn't like mentioned a name, he says, Any idea why the guild picked you?
Probably because of how pretty we all are.
I mean, we haven't done the most important role in the game.
Oh no! Alright,
Oh,
we have to do it.
So for Sophie, who probably hasn't been a part of one of my games before, or a game that these guys have been involved in, there is a really important role that happens, which is a roll of a d20, and it's a roll for hotness, to tell how attractive your character is. How genetically blessed you have been. I don't care if you actually stick to the role or not, but it's kind of a funny thing. So, yeah, if everyone wants to do that role real quick, let's see how pretty you actually are.
I get a +5 surely for being
Certainly don't.
How do
something
you
that.
actually roll?
So on the top left, there's like the little toolbar. Click on the dice.
The 3 dots
Wow,
and the
you
3 lines.
you do that in a really weird way, Jake. You can just
Yeah.
type /R 1d20. So you can just
In the
type
chat.
like
Yeah, but like
yeah.
there's literally
If you-
literally a thing.
if you ignore the asterisk that I put, if you type that,
I'll take 18.
that'll roll you a d20.
There's a little dice button. You don't need to type.
There
it.
is also a little dice button, but I don't think I've ever actually
Where's the
seen
little dice
anyone
button?
use the
I
little
don't even
dice
know what
button.
that is.
Used, mate. It's been used.
Oh, I got a 4.
See what happens when you don't use the dice.
I mean, I am a fire person, but I am...
Hey, 18 hotness coming my way.
Like I
don't
said,
think you get the +5.
It's you definitely don't get a +5.
I
But it's
definitely get +5.
It's entirely optional if you actually use that score or not.
Did you just
Oh, I
roll
get-
from the
I get, like,
dice and get
plus-
worse?
I get +4 anyway, so I guess...
So yeah, it's entirely optional whether you use that or not, but it's just kind of a funny roll. We always do. It's tradition. And then you get freaks, like a character which is horrifically mutated but rolls a 20. Like you get stuff like that happens, which is always amusing.
Funny.
Cool. Yeah. So he laughs. He says, "Well, never seen the guild pick people of an appearance before, but I guess there's a first for anything."
I don't know why we're here.
Oh my god.
Is that a fox? What is that?
It's definitely a
My
cat.
cat.
Funny fox.
Oh. Hi, Gingy.
I mean, look, I don't know if you've ever seen a fox before, Jake, but there's definitely not a fox. Cool. So yeah, eventually he leads you down this long corridor, and into a room. Like he swings open, he like pushes open these like large double doors, and they just swing open. As you hear the small squeaking of Mox's cart with its one squeaky wheel, and then there's this boom as the doors like swing open and like slam open, and you see this like it's a relatively nice room, quite open, quite spacious. Lots of light in the center of the room. There's this like really thick, heavy wooden table with a map, like a map of the world, like splayed out over it. And standing around the map, you see a selection of figures and people who are kind of bent over this map, looking at it. And the Carven who led you in calls out to the room. He says, "I've got the new blood. They're here if you want to talk to them." And he kind of breaks off and gestures for you guys to walk up to the table. And yeah, like four of the figures from the table will turn to face you as the others kind of fade into the background as they step back from the table and give you guys space. You guys and the four people who have remained space. So yeah, we see at the table there's an Aravin, a Servin, an Elavin, and a human, who turn to face you, all of varying different builds and ages. And the first, a human female, like kind of holds her hand in like a hail, and says, "Welcome. You're the new recruits they just pulled in."
Yep, that does.
Yeah, I just give a nod. Yeah.
She nods. She says, "Well, we don't normally give the new bloods tasks so quickly, but we've got something that needs a swift resolution. We think you might be uniquely suited. And she gestures for you to come over to the map.
All right. Are we all just
Okay.
gonna stand sort of? Is it like a round map?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. It's like a round table with this like map in the middle. I assume you guys will just kind of like walk up to it.
Yeah.
All right.
And you see like the map is it's kind of it maybe takes you like a little while to like adjust to it because you normally see like a map of the world is a map of the world, but this is like drawn with the guild house like in the direct center of the map, and the map kind of expands out from it. And if you're wondering from the map that you have at the very top of the I think it's the second map, the map of the world in the Google Doc. You're in the like northeastern part of the west continent on the map. You've got the two big land masses. So like if you look on the map, you've got like the tree line, and just to the south of that tree line, that's where you are. And the map kind of expands out from there. And there's multiple different like small towns and like farm ships that are marked, and one of them has like a dagger in the symbol for the small town. And he says, "No, look, you'd die immediately if you were to drink every time I said He fucking hell, you guys are gonna fucking kill me because now I'm gonna think about it every time. It's gonna destroy me."
So I need to go get a couple more drinks because I'm already like line up a few. Like
Yeah, line them up. I feel like you should be doing shots as well, Jake. So like, I want you dead, honestly.
I'd actually just die. I'd be dead.
Anything that
If you don't survive till tomorrow, that's probably a plus in my books. So
Just go to uni. It's fine.
yeah, that way you don't have to go to uni. It's great. So yeah, they so that was not huh. They point at the dagger that's in the table and say, "There's a small town just to the south of here. Used to pay us protection for guild services, keep the monsters at bay, that sort of thing. Recently they stopped. We'd like you to go find out why and secure our payment. Simple enough, but work that needs doing."
maybe they just ran out of things for you to kill. Maybe they just don't need you anymore. Ever think of that?
I think the Aravan at the table like laughs. He says, "No, nothing ever runs out of things to kill in the wilderness. There's always something new, a new threat. But if they stop paying us, they lose our protection. That'll be bad for them. And they produce quite a lot of useful products we need to survive. So I'd rather it didn't go bad for them."
It's just a simple shakedown. We should be fine.
He nods. Says, the human female I saw before says, "Yeah, that's it. Head there, find out why they stopped paying. There could be a simpler solution. Maybe they're late. Maybe they forgot. You just collect the money and come back. It'll be easy. If there is another reason why they're not paying you, I need you to find that out."
How do you suppose we go about doing this? And I sort of look to the two of them. Any ideas? I seem to be the only one opening my mouth. I know you two are quiet, but
So like just my character actively like avoids small talk and things like that. So I will only speak if like required. Because
I love
like
that.
with a solid 6 in charisma.
and I will actively pester you.
I love the difference in character. That's cool. Yeah, so the four at the table turn to you and say, "That's up to you. You want to go there? Swords drawn, blades ready. Threaten them. If it gets us our gold and keeps getting us our gold, we don't care. If you go there and talk to their leaders, find out why, maybe negotiate a new payment plan for them, but that's also fine."
Well, before we go, just one key question. These leaders that they have, do they have family, children?
Shrugs. Yeah, I imagine so.
Good. Leverage.
They shrug. We don't need to know your motives, your methods. Just get us results. It will be a good test of your abilities. Welcome to the guild, per se.
My character just nods and starts leaving the room.
Well,
They say,
he does that sometimes. He's not very good with people. Just ignore him, it's fine.
they
Anyway,
they say,
is there any other information we needed to know before we leave? Anything important?
not really. They go to hand you like a scroll. This has all the information about their payments they should be making. Amounts, dates, when they last came in, when the last one was due, when the next one is due, that sort of thing. That should give you everything you need to know. Head south from here. Should be a day, maybe 2 walk. Won't be far. Just be careful though. The roads have been dangerous of late.
But
Excellent.
aren't we paid to not have that happen?
Shrugs. We're paid to protect the towns. The roads, they're always dangerous.
You see like a little glimmer go off Cardinal's eyes and say, "Ah, the good old days," and then he walks away too.
The rest of your party is left, Mark. What are you doing?
Well, I sort of, bow with a flourish, Well, we'll come back with the results then. And I leave with my squeaky little cart behind me.
I was gonna bring that up. Not only does she not stop talking, there's never not quiet because the fucking cart squeaks.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. Mark's
There
job
you
is to
are,
make sure there is
constant.
always a noise.
A constant pester.
That's why my character just walks away, because he doesn't know how to like end the conversation with Sophie's character. So he just walks away.
I love it. It's perfect. Sweet, cool. So yeah, you guys head out. As you guys kind of leave, out the probably Jake, it happened to you first because you were the first one to leave. So you walk out the door as kind of the end of that conversation is happening. And the Carvin who like met you before, like led you in, he kind of reaches out and like kind of blocks your path with his arm, steps in your way and says, "So, need anything from the armory? Any supplies before you leave?"
I've been allowed to like have my equipment on me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like none of
Yeah,
none of you have like had your equipment taken away from you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just grab like my quarterstaffs across my back and I say, like, no, and then go to move past him.
He like steps to the side to still be in front of you. He says, "My name's Davos, by the way. I'll be your handler from the guild."
On and just like nod, and then go to step around him.
I think this time he lets you. He just kind of like, I think like you turn around and go past him, and he like turns around like follow you as you go past him. So I think like I think Cardinal as you walk out, you see this Carvin who led you here, like wrapped in furs with his battle axe, like back turned to you, kind of watching the retreating form of Zon.
I jog a little to catch up with Nox and just sort of walk beside him.
Sweet. So yeah, you two kind of approach, and as you approach, you get the impression that the Carvin hears the squeaking of the wheel. He turns to face you. He says, and the other two. I'm Davos. I'm your handler from the guild. You need anything, you talk to me. You need anything from the armory, any supplies before you leave.
Depending on what we have to do, there could be a list of things that I'd need. What exactly are we trying to do? And no, I'm not exactly the most strategic person.
He like tilts his head. He's like, "Didn't they just tell you?"
I was looking to Nox, just sort of like,
Yeah. Like
do you have any plans? Do you have any plans? Any...
You see Nox's hands go under his mask and like, no, I think we're fine. But thank you for offering, Davos.
He nods. He says, well, you need anything from the guild, you talk to me. When you get back, you find me. I'll do it for you. I can help.
I would bow my head and expect, oh, what the hell is it? Is it Muck or Mock?
Mock.
Actually, that's such a perfect name for your character. Expect Mock to keep talking to him, so I just sneak away.
What if I were to request some sort of catapult? Would that... How hard would that be to get?
He kind of...
Something that can, launch large things far distances.
He doesn't have eyebrows, but you imagine if he had an eyebrow, his eyebrows would have just, like, one of his eyebrows would have just raised. Because brow raises. He says, catapult. Well, we have access to the things, but... Well, we can make the things, I should say. Why would you need a catapult? I'm pretty sure if the guild leaders were sending you on a mission that needed a catapult, we would have sent more people.
Well, you never know when you need a catapult.
Like,
I can think of at least 13 different situations where it would be very useful.
like, nods slowly. He goes, I can probably think of more. But
13.
I think, unfortunately, catapults may not be necessary in this situation.
Well, that's your opinion. And I sort of look past him. Do I see? Are they both gone? Or
Yeah, I think they're both like. I think Zon is just reaching the doors of the the lead back into the drink hall, and Nox's or Cardinal is just behind them.
Well, should probably catch up with them, but I'll see you later. I will let you know how it goes.
He nods.
And
He nods, and as once again, he kind of turns, looking incredulous as you walk past him, and kind of as you were walking past, he says, he kind of calls out to the party. He says, "Don't worry. If you need a catapult, I'll have one ready. I work fantastically as ammunition, by the way."
When I hear catapult, I just slowly turn around like, what?
Don't look at me like that. You never know when they're useful. It's always good to have a catapult on your side. I speak from experience. Once a dragon attacked my hometown. I could have used a catapult then. I could have used a few.
Jeez.
The
I'm
biggest thing
surprised
you've
you
ever
didn't-
seen. White, blue eyes. Terrifying.
And yet you didn't fend it off with your legendary wooden spoon.
Well, you see, not everything can be solved with a wooden spoon. That's just silly.
Amazing. Cool. All right. So, yeah, as you guys kind of progress through, you progress through and you go through the tap hall, and eventually it leads to the outer courtyard of this hall. And it's a pretty nice place. It's pretty well fortified. It has walls that surround this inner courtyard and the main keep / building. The gate itself is pretty heavy and well defended. Once again, the life outside the walls of somewhere defended isn't great. There's a lot of reasons why small towns and stuff like that have defended or pay for defense from guilds, because it's a dangerous world out there, and if you don't, you could very well die. There's a lot of monsters and other such creatures and bandits and exiles that prowl the wilds and pick off easy game. But yeah, so you guys know pretty much where you're going. You have the supplies to get there. Pretty much the way it's going to work is that if you come back to the guild hall to restock, I'm basically going to assume that you have rations, right? The only time rations are ever really going to become a problem is when we do like longer things that are going to take you away from the like the guild hall for
Like
an
going-
extended period of time.
Or like going from village to village or something.
Yeah, but like if you've come from the guild hall or going to the guild hall, it's not going to be much of a problem ration wise because the guild hall will keep you stocked of that sort of thing. You don't really have to worry.
Thank
as
you,
much
Liam.
about rations. So, because you know what, I don't want you guys fucking counting rations each day. That's boring. Plus, one of you.
Also,
does someone have
don't trust us
Outlander?
too.
No, I don't think
No.
anyone took Outlander. Cool.
No.
So you didn't take the feat that just breaks the indie anyway, so that's fine.
This
Yeah.
group didn't do that? No.
Wow,
The
no
hell
shit.
You say,
Wow, damn! It's almost like I almost guarantee that the party will have a background. A fucking one of them will take the background Outlander because you know that just breaks the game. But then I'm going to break their breaking by saying they don't have to count rations. Ha! Sucked it.
Got 'em.
Cool. So yeah, you guys can set off unless there's anything else you want to do or accomplish around the guild hall. Anything else you want to check up on or explore or get or acquire before you leave? You guys can just basically head straight out towards the area in which you're going.
Can we get some oil for her fucking squeaky tire?
It gives it character.
Sweet.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, like you could get some, whether it'll work or not. You get the impression it's been tried, right? you check the axle and it's like well oiled and like well used, but you get the impression that like, hey,
It's
because you
intentional.
know so like casters are rare, right? They don't appear a lot, but like you know that the mock is one. You maybe get the impression that she might be keeping it squeaking magically. Like you look at it and you can't see any reason for it to be squeaking. But yeah, so you get the feeling she
That
might be
sounds
doing it intentionally.
Literally the most awful spell known to human. It would
Hey,
be
it's-
like if every time somebody walked, their shoes squeaked. I
I
would
mean, it's,
have to kill
it's
somebody.
basically a constant cast of prestigation, right? Right, prestigation just makes like a
Prestigation, minor
small
illusion,
sound.
either one.
Yeah, minor illusion, prestigation, like yeah. So you get the idea that you know this person who's extremely powerful and rare and you know a force to be reckoned with is using their extremely rare magic powers to make their cart squeak. I don't know. It's entirely possible. It kind of fits with the profile we've
What
been
I've
mocked
seen.
so far. I love it. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, I'm assuming you guys set out without any further delay. You head to the south. Cool. Awesome. Now, does anyone have what skills exist in the 5th edition? Let me have a look at a character sheet because I don't remember.
Well,
what
there's
skills
not that
this
many,
game is.
so
What is actually possible?
I play far too many games to remember what skills exist in which settings.
Just-
Are you looking
It's
for like a
always awareness.
survival role?
Well, I know survival exists. I was just seeing if there's anyone that would be more appropriate. Does anyone have survival?
I'm not proficient in it, but I have a +2 from wisdom.
Does anyone have a better survival than Jake?
let me see.
Isn't that ironic?
No, mine's -1. So
Cool. So, Jake, can you make me a survival check to see if you can figure out like the
Which way
basic
south
direction
is?
to go? Yeah. It's not gonna be a very hard roll.
fuck.
Is that? Yeah. Okay.
4.
That would definitely be the roll. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys set out. Awesome. I love it. You guys.
What's
you
the
guys-
two? What's the two numbers? What's the 9?
So the 9 is if you had advantage.
Okay.
So it basically rolls twice, and if you have advantage, you take the second number. If you
Okay.
don't, you take the first.
Sure.
Cool. So yeah, you guys set out.
We've set out.
You certainly do. Let's
So what was that checking exactly?
how good your navigation is. Let me check something of my own.
They make it there a year later.
Okay, cool.
Was that the
So
difficulty, was it?
it may have been. Cool. Yeah, you guys, you make it through. So yeah, the day passes uneventfully. You guys progress, and you set camp the next night. Did anything happen on the trip? Did anything eventful happen that we should note? Anything
I
you
didn't
mention at all?
I mean, I didn't interact with
I
anyone.
mean, yeah, Zon doesn't do anything.
Zon
I
doesn't
tried very hard to pester him as much as I possibly could. to
like. Well, what sort of things were you asking? Like,
just so where you're from, what's your life like? You have a partner, a dog, a cat, a turtle. I like
no
turtles.
pets,
They're quite cute.
monastery. I'm a monk.
Just one word answers for every single question.
I think it's gonna be really cool, like RP difference between the talkative bard and the very to the point monk. It's cool. I like it. That's awesome. Sweet. So, we reached the campsite you guys set up. Importantly, this is the first long rest, where you guys get to do the rest rule, which is essentially where you can vote between the three of you for one player in the party to get inspiration. Or is that what we call the game? Yeah, it's called inspiration, right? What was the character should say? Yeah, inspiration. I was right. So does anyone want to nominate someone to receive inspiration for what we've done so far? Like you're pointing off
Give
in
it to
nowhere.
Sophie. Give it to Sophie.
Do you concur, Jake?
I mean, Jake's being pretty in character. Jake.
Yeah, like
Like, no.
so. Okay, so like if in game terms, like what are we doing? Like actually as a
Yeah, how does
character
this work?
to
That's a good
what as a character, what action are we performing
So-
to like?
So this is
Are
this
we
is
telling
this is a-
stories? Are we what? Like,
No, so this is a player-based thing. So this is outside of your character. Basically, you're choosing which player or character in your party gets inspiration for this particular long rest. This will happen every single time you long rest. It's very possible that by the time you reach the town, you'll have another opportunity with very little in between. That's fine. The kind of point of this is inspiration in this game is a resource. In 5th edition, inspiration is a resource that's meant to be spent. It's meant to be used. You're meant to have plenty of opportunities to gain inspiration so that you can use it. So to do that, basically I'm going to be throwing out every opportunity all the time forever to get you guys as much inspiration as possible. So literally we could, in between now and the next long rest, we could do, I could basically do another quick travel time skip. And you don't really have anything in character to award inspiration for, so you just give it to a player. The system is essentially so that you guys decide who gets it, so that if a player has done something specifically good or in character or saved the party or told a funny joke, you guys can award inspiration to that player.
Okay.
Only rule is that you can't vote for yourself, because that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Fair enough.
Um,
I feel like I need to know more about all the characters before I know what's accurate for their
yeah,
character to do.
I mean, like,
So
it does-
inspiration grants are like a bonus on skill checks. Is that right?
basically it is a one-time use advantage.
Okay.
So yeah, it's helpful, but it is a resource that is meant to be used. You're meant to be getting tons of opportunities to gain advantage of inspiration, and hence you shouldn't be afraid to use it. That makes sense?
Yeah, and it can be held on to. Yes.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
So who did we want to give the inspiration to this time around?
I don't know. Sophie can have it if she likes. Well,
I mean, I won't say no to it.
Cool. So yeah,
you can't. You don't get to vote if you don't.
basically 2 people. There are currently 3 people in the game, and 2 people have said Sophie. So Sophie, tick the little box on your character sheet that says inspiration.
Thereabouts. Oh, there we go.
Oh my.
Maybe.
Wow,
The
wait.
first thing that's gonna fucking happen when there's 4 people in the group, it's gonna be a 2-way split. It's
Which
gonna
is why. So
happen.
basically the GM only gets a vote if it's a tie.
Nah, it should be hand-to-hand combat.
Fight to the death.
I think it should be a hand-to-hand fight to the death.
Doesn't that only work with you and Abby?
No.
Not
No.
IRL hand-to-hand combat, fight to the death. I would hope. I don't really want murder on the stream, if I'm honest.
Get a lot
Go,
of
think of the
views.
views.
Think of it.
Sweet, awesome. So yeah, that's that. That's the long rest. So if you tick the little box that it gives you inspiration, and yeah, that essentially means that once basically you can call before you roll that you're using your inspiration on this roll, and it essentially gives you advantage, which means that when it rolls the 2 dice, you just pick the higher of the 2. And yeah, like I said, this is a resource that you should be using. You can save it up to an important point, but there's a good chance that you'll get another opportunity to get another one. So burn it, use it, play it, because it's kind of it's a resource that doesn't get used a lot in 5th edition D&D because GMs forget to use it. Hence why I'm pulling in the rule that you guys get to pick. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget every time. So yeah, that'll be fun. Cool. Let's move on to the next day. So the night passes without any incident. Your watches pass and you wake up the next day. I'm assuming you're holding watches. Watching would be not doing watches would be terrible. It'd be a terrible idea. Just look, you're doing watches, okay? I'm saying that now.
Just
Yes,
really
Jake.
quick.
Yes.
So like you obviously got like a brief description for each of the class, like each of the races.
Yep.
Is there a basis in anything that's in original 5th ed that we can, because like for example, like elvish creatures in like 5th ed, base 5th ed, like only need limited sleep and things like that.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's where you're going. No.
Yeah, so, like,
it's not. the
yeah,
same,
is that-
unfortunately?
Is there a basis?
No,
Oh.
they
No?
are
Okay.
they are completely their own thing, and everyone needs a decent amount of rest to actually receive rest.
Wrong. I survive in real life on minimal sleep.
Confirm.
Yes, Jake, you don't do it healthily, and you also do it using
No,
caffeine.
not at all. Not at all.
So caffeine doesn't exist. Well, I mean, there are other things that exist that do the same thing, but your body's not going to like you for it.
Okay. Cocaine.
Hardcore cocaine. Sweet. So yeah, the next day rolls around. You guys pass on, and you move through the next day. Jake, can I get another survivor roll from you, my good
That
man?
they can. Oh,
Oh boy, that'd be a crit
That's-
fail.
is that a 1
Wow.
in a 20?
That is
Yeah.
a 1 on a 20.
Certainly.
Sweet. So as you guys are progressing through the day,
That could have been bad.
Can I-
We failed. We failed. It's
can
bad.
I get perception checks from everybody?
Oh
From
boy.
everyone. Okay.
Yeah, just give me a
Oh.
round of perception checks.
Oh
Let's see how
no
that
no
goes.
What
no.
the fuck is perception?
Should be.
I thought the
easy.
second
My
one
rolls
was
are shit.
You're not
Jesus
doing
Christ.
amazingly so far, Jake.
Jesus Christ. I blame roll 20.
So the 3 and the 22.
These-
Like, which one do you take?
You take the first number.
You take the first one.
All of my rolls have been under 10.
Okay, so Sophie,
Yeah.
for skill checks, go to your
Oh.
player sheet and click on the specific skill.
So you can just click on
Ah.
perception because that'll roll it with the bonuses that you get, bonuses or minuses that you get naturally. So
Jake,
yeah,
I beat you with a -1.
Sweet. So basically, the for the both numbers for any people watching or playing who don't know, the game automatically assumes you have advantage in case you do. If you don't have advantage, essentially you just take the first of the two numbers. If you have disadvantage, you take the lower of the two numbers, and if you have advantage, you take the higher of the two numbers. Pretty simple. Cool. So, as you guys are kind of walking through this, along the path, kind of through the bush a little bit, you get a little bit out of your way, and seem to notice that you're straying slightly from the direction that maybe you think you should be going. And as you do that, you notice, I think, so Cardinal, you notice some movement off to your right hand side. You see like some bush and scrub being disturbed as people are moving towards you. I think you can,
I
you can
immediately throw up a hand and just point it out. Like,
cool. Yeah, you all see this. I think as he points it out, you can all kind of focus down and see it more clearly. There's a party of like 3 people moving through the bush, like to your right. And as you look at them, they seem relatively well armed and armored. Nothing more than what you guys think you have. What are you gonna do?
Oh boy. I am going to step behind both of them.
What direction did it look like they came from?
Whatever direction they are, I am behind my 2 companions.
oh god. Typing.
Okay. Yeah. So what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna try and go into stealth.
Okay. Cool. So you want to try and hide?
What direction did they come from? Like, did they come from where we think we should be heading, or?
No. So you think they're off to your like right hand side. Like you. So
yeah,
you,
but does it look like, say, maybe they've come from the guild or like the town we're heading to?
No, you don't think so. Like you kind of like taking this moment to kind of assess where you are. You think they should probably be off to the left. Like you should probably be heading slightly to the left of where you are now. The guild is like more specifically directly behind you.
Okay.
And then these guys are kind of off to your right.
And are they, if we stay where we are they gonna like collide into us, kind of, or like?
Well, they definitely seem to have noticed you.
Okay. I don't move. I don't like try and hide or anything.
Okay.
I stay where I am.
So yeah, you can see them notice you, and they turn towards you, and the 3 of them, like you see them kind of like push each other and kind of point you out, and they start moving towards you. Their hands like go to their weapons, but they haven't drawn them. And
I'm ready to draw my quarterstaff, but I don't.
Okay, sure, awesome.
I'm just sort of standing behind what's Jake's name? Vot?
Zon?
Or Zon, there we go. I'm standing behind Zon with my cane with the twirled hook just sort of over my shoulder, and my cart in the other hand just sort of standing behind him, keeping an eye on people. Just sort of as he moves, I'm just sort of angling myself so he's between me and the 3 other people.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Sweet, okay.
You're literally the physical class, Jake. Good fucking luck.
Wait, are you playing a rogue?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I'm literally the tank. God damn it.
Yeah, you guys didn't really pick a tank, hey? So that'll be fun. Cool. All right. So yeah, these guys kind of approach you, and the one in front, let me randomly pick a race from. I really need like a random race generator. I think it's just so I can like randomly pick a race for the NPCs that you encounter, so I don't have to do it. I think the one in front is a Tallinn, so like the same as you, Jake.
Yeah.
And as he kind of like approaches you, like holds up his hand and hails you, with like a smile on his face. He says, "Hail, traveler! What you doing so far from the camp?"
From the camp?
Yeah.
that what he said? From the camp?
Yeah.
What was the name of the town we're heading to?
You are heading to... I actually have this written down. Holy shit, preparation, right?
I was gonna say, I don't think we asked that.
You didn't know, but it's on. It'd be on the scroll of paper you were handed.
Yeah,
You were handed like a scroll of paper
yeah.
with all the
I
information.
did
So,
give it a scroll, but I didn't read it.
I'm assuming you did read it because like the information was on the scroll.
Oh,
Like, the
I mean,
source.
we've been traveling for like, a day and a half. I'm sure you've
I
said
would have
something.
given
that
it
would
to,
be-
to Zon or Nox to read. I would have.
That would have been amazing. No one looked at it. We just assumed where we were going.
I mean, like, so you know where you're going, but you don't know the name of the town. Like, it's
Yeah.
up to you. Did anyone actually read this scroll you were handed?
Okay.
Oh.
I unroll the scroll and I sort of take a peek at it, and then I go to Zod and I go, "Is this the part where I tell you I can't read?"
I just. Wait, have you got the name?
Yeah, I've got it here.
So I look at the scroll quickly and like sigh.
Cool. So you're going to a small town called Tilly.
Really?
Tilli. Tilly.
Okay. We're traveling to Tilly.
He nods. Kind of like you see his eyes like narrow slightly, and says, "Tilly. Interesting. Didn't know there's anyone still alive in Tilly."
That is interesting information. What makes you say that?
Well, yeah. What do you mean?
Like a smirk crosses his face. Well, I know. Killed them.
Who killed?
Okay. Can I get a surprise attack?
Holy shit.
Shit, dude.
Oh my-
Yeah, do you
Oh,
wanna
this is
do you wanna roll me?
Glorious.
Do you wanna roll me stealth?
A stealth?
To see, to see how well you've done on that. Roll me a stealth check. Cool. All right. Yeah, man. You guys. So all of you. I'm gonna kind of do that for like everyone. You all get a stealth round of attack. So you guys can go for it.
I'm already hiding, thank you, sir.
You are, yeah. You've definitely managed to hide. But yeah, no. You can all get a round of attacking. Before they get to react to you.
I am taking.
Did you want to do like group initiative or individual initiative?
We'll do individual.
Yep.
Because there's only like 6 people involved in this fight. So
So initiative button. Yeah,
there is.
actually there's a score. What's the
That'll
score?
be your passive. There should be a like.
That's a bonus, I do
roll
believe.
there. Sweet. Why did it roll your in? Wait, I guess is it
Wait.
in? Wait, what? It's rolling.
You can click
Oh,
on the,
okay, no, that's
the
good.
initiative
That's right.
button.
That was
Like,
me
there's a
misreading.
button that
You're
says
good.
initiative,
You're
but I
good.
don't know what die it's rolling.
It's good. It's
rolling
rolling.
the
It'll be a
D20.
D20 plus your dex, I imagine. Not.
Yes, it's-
You have
Absolutely
3
does.
plus 3 dex.
Yep.
And Jake rolling a natural 1 again. I love it.
Oh my
Fantastic.
God.
Great job. Cool. Now we roll for them. Cool. And whilst I do that, can everyone find, like, I don't care if it's completely random, just an image to chuck into your character sheet that I can use for a token for you, in the case of battles. Like I said, it doesn't matter if
Any image.
it literally doesn't matter. It can be literally any random image, just so that we can, like,
Yeah, like
I can chuck you into a combat map.
like last time we played Stars, we found out that Matt's a bear scientist.
We did find that out, yeah.
How would I go about putting a picture in?
So if you go to your
yeah.
character sheet, you can go to edit, and then there'll be like an avatar.
Bobber. That you can upload to.
So just any image is fine, yeah.
Literally anything. I just need something
Oh.
for this session we can use as a.
Oh Jesus.
While that's just quickly like uploading itself, I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Cool, go for it. What I think we'll do actually, so that everyone can get set. And it's been about an hour. We're gonna take a short, like, couple of minute break just so we can get this all set up. Jake can run to the bathroom and we can do all that sort of thing. So we'll be back in like a minute or two, and then we'll be straight into this fight. So if you guys wanna get drinks or anything like that, this is your moment.
I will certainly be getting
go
drinks.
Do what you need to. So we'll be right back. We'll be back in a minute or two.